Hi, Abha. Welcome to Elitesgrid. Please tell us what your profile.
Yeah, so hi Monica. I belong to Raipur, Chhattisgarh, and I did my BTech in electrical engineering from NIT Raipur. And I did my 10th and 12th also from NIT, from Raipur itself. So in 10th, I got 10 CGPA. In 12th, I got 88.8%. And in BTech, I got 9.06.
Okay. And talking about this year, what has been your CAT percentile and what are the colleges that you've converted?
So I got this year 99.43 percentile, and this was my second attempt. And apart from A, I got all the IIM calls and MDI and IITs and all.
Okay. So talking about CAT 22, आपने preparation कब से start की उसकी?
CAT 22, I started from January itself. So I enrolled in batch 1 of Elitesgrid, and this was my second attempt. And last year also I was with Elitesgrid only. And last year I was enrolled in batch 2.
Okay. Okay. So what happened last year? जिसकी वजह से you couldn't do well और इस साल आपने फिर वापस try किया?
Yeah, so last year I got 82 percentile. And initially when I was in college, I was preparing for GATE. Actually in NIT Raipur, and that too in electrical, GATE ka bahut mahol hai. So I was preparing for GATE and I couldn't do it well in it. And then after when I joined here, I was like, I was enjoying more this more corporate work and the work which is which demands business acumen rather than the technical work. So I was like, okay, I should prepare for CAT. So I had a colleague here. She too was preparing for CAT and she was enrolled in batch 1 of Elitesgrid. So she told me you can try this. And I am someone who easily loses a schedule. Like it's okay, chalo movie dekh leta hai. So I really needed a schedule. And CAT, I had a very little guidance because I was preparing for GATE. So I was like, I should go with this. And I used to look at the YouTube videos and the contents which Gaurav sir ka wo 4 hour, 6 hour wala video. So I was like, I'm able to like match the frequency with this, so I should get this.
ठीक है. तो लास्ट ईयर जैसा आपका परसेंटाइल 82 था एंड
Yeah.
इस साल आपने वापस से चांस से ज्वाइन किया, तो
Yeah.
उसके बाद कैसे प्रोग्रेशन था आपकी प्रिपरेशन में?
So last year I was not very serious, I should be like honest. I prepared well in around like last 2 to 3 months only. So this year I was very sure कि नहीं मुझको शुरू से ही seriously prepare करना है. So I used to like attend the classes diligently and do all the like whatever the sheets and whatever the assignments we were getting. And apart from that, last year I was like, okay, I got the answer right, so I should move on. This year I used to focus more on the process, like Honey sir say always कि मतलब ठीक है आंसर आ गया तो ऐसा नहीं है कि क्वेश्चन छोड़ देना है, वापस से उसको देखो अगर तुम्हारा प्रोसेस ऑप्टिमाइज था कि नहीं, ऑप्शन एलिमिनेशन लगा सकते हो कि नहीं. तो दिस ईयर आई वाज मोर फोकस्ड टुवर्ड्स द प्रोसेस.
ठीक है, ठीक है. तो सिंस आप पहले तो गेट की प्रिपरेशन कर रहे थे, फिर आपने यहाँ पर स्विच किया एंड VARC, DILR भी बहुत डिफरेंट होता है, तो डिड यू फाइंड डिफिकल्टी इन डूइंग दैट?
Actually, LRDI was the subject I used to enjoy the most. I like to solve puzzles and all. But VARC, though, even if I see my mock scores now also, I didn't cross 90 percentile in any mock. So VARC was like a nightmare for me last year also, this year also. But I don't know how I scored like 99 percentile this year in VARC, and it was highest among the 3 sections. So yeah, that learning with the process, it helps. Like in VARC, it is not important to pick the correct choice. It is important to eliminate the wrong choices. And this I understood very later. So yeah, VARC was tough.
Okay. And since आपका LRDI strong था, so how did you prepare for that along with Quants?
Actually, LRDI is like you cannot be very sure. Sometimes like puzzle can be hard and sometimes you couldn't attempt it. So LRDI ke liye, if there are like say 5 puzzles, I initially focused on solving 2 correct so that I got some reasonable score and then I'll move further. So LRDI ke liye, I used to solve 2 to 3 puzzles daily, and the sheets which were given by Gaurav sir were enough. Like I never I never मतलब मैंने कभी कोई book या और other कोई material refer नहीं किया. It was sufficient, like the materials we were getting, the questions we were solving in class. And LRDI के लिए the approach which Gaurav sir takes and the step by step from here, how did he eliminated the other option? That approach really helps. And quant जनरली ऐसा परसेप्शन होता है कि इंजीनियर्स का क्वांट अच्छा होता है. मेरा क्वांट आई एम गुड विद द कंसेप्ट लाइक, बट एप्लीकेशन पार्ट में आई यूज्ड टू टेक मोर टाइम. So last year also quant I didn't score well because I didn't practice it well. This year when initially I started giving mocks, this year also quant में मेरा score less आ रहा था. तो हनी sir used to tell कि नहीं, you start focusing initially कि 10 questions right हो, उसके बाद you increase the number of questions. तो but 10 is should be your threshold, उसके पहले हड़बड़ाना नहीं है. तो this approach I followed कि नहीं, पहले मेरे को 10 questions सही बनाना है जो मेरे से बन रहे हैं, उसके बाद I'll move to further.
ठीक है. एंड मूविंग फॉरवर्ड जैसे मॉक्स भी देना स्टार्ट करते हैं तो उस टाइम आपकी स्ट्रेटजी भी चेंज होती है, देन यू स्टिक टू समथिंग. तो वो प्रोसेस कैसा था आपका?
Yeah, so mocks I started giving around August end. Hani sir used to give a schedule and I followed it diligently because I have 6 days working here, so मेरे पास और टाइम नहीं होता था. जो सर बोलते थे मैं बस उतना ही करती हूँ. तो initially I used to apply different strategies in different sections. कि अगर जैसे VARC में 4 puzzle है और 8 VA के questions है, तो initially I used to solve 2 puzzles and all the VA questions, and then or next time I used to solve 2 puzzles, then 4 VA का question, then another puzzle, whatever. And for LRDI, it was like that only. I used to read through the puzzles. Like I used to go through all the puzzles initially, and then I used to pick the easiest one, which I feel कि ऐसा पहले solve किया है या ये हो जाएगा. और उसके बाद फिर I'll move to next. And quant तो वही quant में practice is the thing. मतलब जितना practice करोगे, जितना previous year जितने बार वही concept revise होंगे, तो वो चीजें आ जाती है फिर खुद.
ठीक है. और इसके बाद जब कैट की बात करें तो उस दिन आपका एक्सपीरियंस कैसा था, और अगर थोड़ा सा शिफ्ट भी आ गया पैटर्न के अंदर तो उसे आपने जगल कैसे किया, यू नो, कीपिंग योर काम, एंड फिर आपने कैसे अप्रोच किया ऑल द 3 सेक्शंस?
Yeah. So I was in slot 1 in CAT. So in VARC there were some changes. Like initially there used to be this odd one out questions, and now they were fill in the blanks questions. So I read the first passage. It was about stoicism or something. I didn't get it. I was reading it again and again, and I was like, कि नहीं ये थोड़ा difficult लग रहा है. I should move to next. So initially during my mocks, what I used to do, I used to attempt 3 RCs and 4 to 6 VA questions. But that day I felt like कि नहीं ये थोड़ा difficult लग रहा है, तो I attempted 2 RCs, which I found easy, and then I moved to the 8 VA questions. And in VA questions, when I read the fill in the blanks question, I was like कि नहीं ये easy है, भले pattern change हो गया. So I attempted both, and I got it right also. So yeah. उस दिन पे कुछ प्रीसेट माइंडसेट लेके नहीं जाना है कि नहीं ऐसे ही करना है. यू हैव टू चेंज योर स्ट्रेटजी अकॉर्डिंगली, क्वेश्चन पेपर जैसा. So this the mocks which we used to get in easy ना, तो शाहजार सर कभी कभी पैटर्न चेंज कर देते थे. So we were used to that कि अगर पैटर्न चेंज भी हुआ तो we can like manage.
Get used to it. हाँ, ठीक है. एंड उसके बाद LRDI ऑफ क्वांट्स में क्या था?
Yeah, so LRDI, that day what happened, in mocks I used to solve around like 3 questions I generally get right out of 4. And that day what happened, generally what happens, there are 6 marks ka 2 puzzle and 4 marks ka 2 puzzle. That day there were 4 puzzles of 5 marks. So ऐसा परसेप्शन रहता है कि 4 मार्क्स वाले पजल थोड़े इजी रहते हैं, तो वो पहले अटेम्प्ट करते थे. लेकिन इस बार 5 मार्क्स के सारे थे, तो कौन सा अटेम्प्ट करे वो चूज करना वाज रियली इम्पोर्टेंट. So I go through all the puzzles, and then I found that कि एक टेबल वाला puzzle है जिसका पैटर्न से मैं मतलब अवेयर हूँ. So I started with this, but I don't know what happened. 20 minutes were gone and I was not able to like mark any single question. So I was like कि गया. फिर देन हनी सर टोल्ड कि नहीं कुछ नहीं होता है, मतलब हमेशा ऐसा वो बोलते रहते थे कि ठीक है उस टाइम पे आपको थोड़ा शांत रहना है. एंड देन आई यूज्ड टू रिमेम्बर द फेसबुक पोस्ट ऑफ पीपल कि नहीं आई केप्ट माय काम. एंड देन सो या आई वाज लाइक कि नहीं अभी शुरू किया है तो आई शुड एंड दिस. So yeah, then I attempted that question and I was able to get one puzzle right in 28 minutes. I had 12 minutes more, and in that 12 minutes, I attempted the next puzzle as well. So in that I attempted around 3 questions. So yeah.
And talking about Quants.
Quants में slot 1 was on the easier side, I would say. I was able to attempt around 13 questions, 13 or 14 questions. And Quant, I followed the same strategy कि नहीं, initially I used to like scroll through the questions and जो first attempt में मुझको लग रहा है कि हाँ ये मेरे से बन रहा है, वो मैं बनाती थी. उसके बाद I'll follow the round robin approach.
And
ऐसा था कि मतलब हनी सर ने इतना वो रिवाइज करा दिया था कि वो क्वेश्चन देखते साथ ही वो हाथ चलने लगता था, मतलब सोचने की और जरूरत नहीं होती.
एंड आपके स्कोर की अगर बात करें इंडिविजुअली तीनों सेक्शंस में आपका क्या परसेंटाइल था?
Individually, I got 99.25 in VARC, 95.89 in LRDI, and 98.4 in Quants. And this is like opposite to mock. In mocks, I used to get more in LRDI and Quant and as compared to VARC, but on that day we cannot like.
Yeah, कुछ भी चेंज हो जाता है. So CAT आपने दिया, उसके बाद आपने कुछ OMETs भी अटेम्प्ट किए थे क्या?
Yeah, after CAT, I was not very sure because in LRDI only one puzzle I got correct, and that so I was like कि नहीं कुछ भी हो सकता है, तो I should focus on OMETs. So I gave ZAT as ZAT and IFT as well. And वो last तक हनी सर वो सारे exams के हिसाब से he used to like मुझको याद है IFT के लिए last दिन तक we were revising GK and all, and so yeah he'll tell how to prepare and he'll change according to the pattern. So, and we used to get mocks for every OMET we gave. So yeah.
ठीक है, तो सेपरेटली आपकी IIFT और SAT दोनों की तैयारी हो गई?
Yeah, IIFT also and ZAT also, but before ZAT we got the results, so I was like, okay, I was focusing on ABC only, so okay.
So you got relaxed before that?
Yeah, I got relaxed.
Okay. अच्छा, तो इसकी अगर रिजल्ट की बात करें क्या परसेंटाइल था आपका दोनों में?
That I don't. I got around 85, I guess, and I have to also. I got relaxed after CAT. Ki okay, it's.
ठीक है. And basing on CAT, since you had such a high percentile, तो उसके बाद number of calls भी आते हैं. So आपके पास जो भी calls थे, you would want to convert. तो आपने फिर preparation कब से start की उसके interviews की और कहाँ से की?
Yeah. So after that, I started preparing for interviews. Before that, we were focused on OMETs only. So I used to prepare it from the. Actually, my friends है काफी IIM Bangalore and Calcutta में, so they helped me a lot. And Hani sir also like he created a group with people and the pass out. So in group we used to ask doubts, and apart from that, I used to read newspaper and YouTube videos, and like MBA interviews can be the most random interviews. So there were some points like basic hygiene, this HR questions, and this about my profile, since I was working from last 3.5 years. So what was happening in my industry, and what is the trend, current news, and at that time Vedanta was in news. So yeah, that kind of stuff. So starting for my interview, I got my first call was from IIM Bangalore, and my first interview was for Bangalore only. So that was my first interview, and I really got very nervous on the day of Bangalore interview. Like I was like, hey, this is my best call, and वो सब चीजें दिमाग में चल रही हैं. So yeah, Bangalore interview didn't went very well. Like there were some questions I was not able to answer, and it was not about the questions which I was not able to answer. It was about the confidence I felt at the end. So they'll judge you ki yeah she's getting nervous. Yeah. So after that, I had this Calcutta interview. So after Bangalore, I prepared myself कि नहीं ये तो अच्छे से जाना चाहिए. So Calcutta, I prepared very well. I used to give mock interviews to my friends, and whoever I will get, I'll see कि ठीक है मेरा tell me about yourself सुन लो. So yeah.
And अगर डिटेल में आप बताएं, how was your Calcutta interview? किस टाइप के questions पूछे थे?
Calcutta interview, yeah. So it started with tell me about yourself. And at that time, Vedanta ka share price, it was getting
Abha, I
down.
can't hear you.
Hello?
I can't hear you.
Now?
It's better.
So it's Calcutta interview. It started with tell me about yourself, and then Vedanta was in news for some share prices going down. So they asked me about that, and I work in a manufacturing sector, and we manufacture aluminum. So at that time there was a recent discovery of lithium metal in Jammu and Kashmir. So they asked me about that, and I wrote कि मेरा hobby cooking है, तो they asked me if you want to open a hotel, then what are the factors you will consider and stuffs like that. Some 1 or 2 maths questions. That was about Calcutta.
ठीक है.
Went around 20 minutes, I guess.
ठीक है, 20 minutes. And उसके बाद जो आपके इंटरव्यूज थे वो कैसे थे? डिस्क्रिप्टिव वे में थोड़ा बताइए.
Yeah. So after Calcutta, I had Lucknow interview. So in Lucknow interview, तो they asked me why MBA. I think 3 times. मतलब initially when I entered, they asked me tell me about yourself and then why MBA. So I was working with CO Power Office. मतलब अभी भी I am working with CO Power Office. So they were like कि since you are working at a very like good place, so why do you want to do an MBA? That time I explained again. They asked me to solve some maths questions. They asked me to solve a to the power equal to a to the power 0 equal to 1. Like, how will you prove it? So that I did something there. And they asked me some speed and distance questions. After that, they asked me, tell me, like, why do you want to do an MBA again? So yeah, that went like that. They were like grilling me, no, you don't need an MBA now. You are like fine, and you should switch job or something like that. But yeah, I made a clear stand, ki nahi, I want to do it this year. So yeah, Lucknow interview went like that. And Lucknow, though, I was very sure that I am not going to convert this because it didn't went well. But yeah, ultimately it get converted. And Kozhikode interview, it was fine. There were 2 professors, and they were initially he used to ask me about my SOP and my profile. And Kozhikode mein they asked me about my academics, like electrical engineering I have done. So they asked me about Fleming's left-hand rule, right-hand rule, and the generator ka working principle. So that thing. And Kozhikode, they focus more on current affairs and recent stuff related to my industry and the electrical thing. So yeah. And Indore, though, I work in a power plant. So Indore, they were like, I don't know, the professor, I guess, he know about the power plant. So he told me to like draw the flow diagrams, how things in power plant work. So generally people won't know कि क्या होता है. मतलब basics तो they know, but he went in detail. So yeah, that went well.
ठीक है. एंड आपने इतने इंटरव्यूज भी क्लियर किए, लखनऊ के लिए भी आपको सेंस लगा कि सिलेक्ट नहीं करेंगे, बट यू गॉट कन्वर्टेड. तो आपको क्या लगता है व्हाट वुड बी दैट रीजन जिसकी वजह से आपका सिलेक्शन भी हुआ इतने कॉलेजेस में?
Actually, yeah, I think you need to be confident. If you are not like, if you think you are saying it right, you have to defend your answer. कि why MBA, you have to defend कि हाँ मेरे को करना है. And also they check your confidence कि ठीक है, अगर कुछ थोड़ा बहुत ऊपर नीचे हो जा रहा है तो you are able to maintain your calm. And yeah, you need to be defensive. At the same time, you need to be humble as well. कि yeah, so yeah, that helps. And a little bit of honesty always helps.
Yes. And आपकी जर्नी से अगर कुछ एडवाइस आप देना चाहेंगे एस्पिरेंट्स को तो क्या होगी?
I think consistency is the key. And कि सबको अपनी जर्नी में एक टाइम पे लगता है कि नहीं हो रहा है या मैं कर पाऊंगी या नहीं, तो उस टाइम पे सोचना है कि नहीं, अभी तक यहाँ तक किया है तो आगे भी अच्छा होगा. और ऐसा हमेशा होता है जनरली जब हम मॉक्स देना चालू करते हैं कि स्कोर नहीं आता है या कुछ क्वेश्चन जो पहले बनते हैं वहां पे जाके नहीं बने, ऐसा भी. तो हनी सर यूज्ड टू टेल कि नहीं, तुम स्कोर मत देखो, तुम बस प्रोसेस को फॉलो करो कि हाँ तुमको राइट अप्रोच आता था या नहीं और वहां पे अप्लाई हो रहा है कि नहीं. तो आई थिंक अप्रोच एंड कंसिस्टेंसी हेल्प्स एट द एंड.
ठीक है. एंड आपसे अगर पीजी के बारे में पूछूं कि उनका क्या सपोर्ट रहा है ये पूरी जर्नी में, व्हाट वुड यू से?
Easy, it's like school for a kid. Like अगर बच्चे को पढ़ाना है शुरू से तो पेरेंट्स स्कूल भेजते हैं ना, तो इजी मेरे लिए वैसा ही था, बिकॉज आई हैड वेरी लिटिल गाइडेंस अबाउट कैट. So easy, this every subject they used to start from very basics कि ठीक है, मतलब if I'll say कि permutation and combination, तो he'll start कि in counting the number of ways, so that we are very comfortable with that. And मटेरियल मतलब मैंने और कहीं से कुछ भी रेफर किया ही नहीं, जितना इजी में बोला, जितना सर ने जहाँ से जो भी बताया, आर्टिकल, न्यूज़पेपर, स्टोरी बुक्स, जो भी था सब कुछ एकदम ब्लाइंडली आई फॉलोड एवरीथिंग. एंड शेड्यूल ऑल्सो, द मॉक्स विच वी मतलब हमने 3 अलग अलग मॉक्स लिए थे, तो कौन सा पहले देना है, कौन सा बाद में, एंड फॉर दैट ऑल्सो लाइक इजी हेल्प. एंड आखिर में क्या होता है, कैट के बाद वी यूज टू गेट कम्प्लेसेंट कि नहीं ठीक है वो अब तो कैट हो गया, पर हनी सर नहीं, तुमको लास्ट ओमेट ज़ैड तक पढ़ना है, मतलब आखिरी एग्जाम तक यू शुड नॉट फील कि नहीं मैंने 100% एफर्ट्स नहीं लगाया, और कैट सिर्फ एक एग्जाम नहीं है. तो या इजी मेंटली एंड लाइक इट हेल्प अ लॉट.
बिल्कुल. And we are so happy कि EG could be a part of your journey and second time as a champ. तो आपके selections भी हो पाए and you got converted. So we are very happy to be a part of that, and thank you so much for sharing your journey, taking out your time, and we wish you all the very best for future.
Thank you, Monica.
Yeah, have a good day.
Thank you.